All right, everybody, what's going on? And welcome to today's edition of SWAC Talk, the show we cover the SWAC inside and out. I am your tour guide around the SWAC Seawells coming at you, and we got a full show today because it was a pretty full weekend of SWAC action in multiple sports. We had the Legacy Bowl took place in New Orleans yesterday. There's the Andre Dawson Baseball Classic taking place in New Orleans as well. So we'll give you some scores from there. We'll talk about the Legacy Bowl a little bit, and of course, we coming into the home stretch of SWAC basketball. This is the one of the last 3 weekends of SWAC basketball. So there's a lot of big games took place, some really good action, and we're going to talk about that. So before we get started, as usual, you can see the socials on the screen down below. Go ahead and check those out. The Facebook is SWAC Talk. Instagram is SWAC Talk. Twitter is SWAC Talk 76. And the email is swagtalk76@gmail.com. And if you'd like to make a donation to the show, show a little love, you get the cash app. That is $SWAC Talk. Much appreciated. Also, since you're here, if you haven't done so already, man, why don't you go ahead and subscribe to the channel, like the videos, and share them. And feel free to comment. Let me know what you think about this weekend. If you were able to watch the Legacy Bowl or go to the Legacy Bowl, let me know what you think about that. Baseball, basketball, whatever the case may be, let me know what you want to think. What you think about that? Before we really get going, man, I got a special shout out sent out to the JSU women's basketball team, man. They are obviously on fire, and this is what I'm rocking today. The Amisha Williams holiday T-shirt. Probably gonna be SWAC Player of the Year, no doubt. But just want to show a little love to JSU. The women are on a roll, undefeated in conference play, and they're taking care of business in a major way. So let's talk about this Legacy Bowl, man. I thought first and foremost, I thought it was a really good event. I'm hoping that it can continue to grow. I thought that it was done really well. They had, some nice little fan elements outside, like a little fan fest outside. It's at Ullman Stadium at Tulane, on the campus of Tulane University, so not a really big stadium. I think about 40,000. So it was, I would guess, I don't know if I could even guess 10,000 for an attendance, but somewhere in the 5,000 to 10,000 range. Nice crowd, man. The Grambling State World Fame marching band was there, so they did their thing at halftime. The St. Augustine Purple Knights marching 100 band from St. Augustine High School in New Orleans. They did a little pregame show. So that nice little, atmosphere. Few pro players were there. Patrick Mahomes was there to do the opening coin toss. And I like the presentation, man. They had Legacy Bowl signage all around the stadium. They pretty much let you know that this game is legit and is being done in a good way. Adidas uniforms, really nice helmets. I think the players got swag bags for being there. The city rolled out the red carpet. The host hotels were laid out for the teams, and it was just a good affair. Now the game was not the cleanest game, but it's an all-star game, so you got good guys going against good guys. Matchups, guys playing together who don't normally play together. So the rhythm of the offenses weren't there. I thought the defense of the Team Robinson really played well. The two teams were named Team Gaither after Coach Jake Gaither of Florida A&M, and Team Robinson after Coach Eddie Robinson of Grambling. So Team Robinson was majority SWAC guys and SIAC guys. Team Gaither was pretty much everybody else, MEAC, CIAA, OVC, Big South guys. So it was a nice little mix. And Southern's Marquise McLean was on Team Gaither. I don't know why, but we'll kind of talk about him in a second. But I thought, defensively, I thought the Team Robinson defense played well. They actually had the game MVP, defensive MVP on that team, and that was Antoine Collier of Florida A&M. He had, I think, 9 tackles and 1.5 tackles for loss, so he had a really good game. A lot of guys really shined on defense. Don't have any official stats to point anybody out, really. Offensively, it was, kind of a mixed bag. Jeremy Hickbottom from Grambling, formerly of Grambling and Tennessee State, was the offensive MVP. He played for Team Gaither. He had a pretty sharp game, not a great game, but he played pretty well. He was able to score a touchdown. Jawan Pass from Prairie View scored the only touchdown for Team Robinson on a quarterback sneak. The final score ended up being 22-6. It was a scoreless first quarter. Team Robinson 12-6 trailed 6-0 at half, and 15-0 I think after the end of the third quarter. Akil Glass didn't really have his best day. I think he was like 4-15, I believe. Felix Harper completed a couple of passes. Ezra Gray was the leading rusher. He had 4 carries for 33 yards. He did have a fumble. But, Charles Pringle, I don't have any stats on him, but I thought he had a pretty solid game. D. Anderson had a couple of big catches as well. Josh Wilkes went down with an injury from UAPB, but he looked pretty good. Tyrann Ralph from UAPB also got some special teams work. So it was just, a lot of guys really had opportunity, and the practices leading up to it is more than the game, what you're looking for in the game. But I thought that it was a really good environment. I thought it was a good event. I'm looking forward to hopefully this being a yearly thing, especially if they can continue to do it in New Orleans. I think the turnout would be really good. The weather was nice, so that really cooperated because, February outside in Louisiana can be dicey, but, the weather was nice. So that, I think this is an event that I look forward to seeing guys be able to grow and get better with, and, more top name players, if they qualify, can be there. And so I think this should be a yearly thing. I'm really hoping. I think the turnout was good for a first year thing. That a lot of people may not have known about the game, but they had a lot of great turnout, man. Everybody was in they school paraphernalia, man. I seen, Grambling, Alcorn, JSU people, Alabama A&M, fam. That's just on the SWAC side, it was mad SWAC people out from east to west. Shout out to the old lady in Alabama A&M shirt that was talking mad trash to everybody leaving the stadium. Salute to her, man. She held it down big time. Also had a chance to run into Coach Odoms. He was there in the house. A lot of coaches were there. Coach Dancy was down away from me in the bleachers. My boy DJ from SWAC Smoke was there. We chopped it up. So you hear about his thoughts on the game and everything on SWAC Smoke on Thursday. So just a really good event, man. A lot of fun. Bonus football, you can't beat that in the middle of basketball time. So that's always a good thing. So hopefully this can be an ongoing thing. I look forward to seeing this take place again. But that was the Legacy Bowl, man. Let me know if you watched it, what you thought. If you were there, let me know what you thought, what you think they can improve on or anything, your thoughts on the game as a whole. So let's keep this moving because, like I said, we got a full show. We're going to jump over to baseball. We're not going to spend a lot of time on this, but, baseball is going on. It's just started. Friday was opening day. And one of the big things in SWAC baseball and HBCU baseball, period, is the Andre Dawson Baseball Classic. That's put on in conjunction with Major League Baseball. It's kind of like a round-robin event where they play in New Orleans. So the teams involved are Southern, Alabama A&M, FAMU, Prairie View, Arkansas Pine Bluff, Grambling, Jackson State, and University of New Orleans, basically the host team. They play in this. Friday's game started off. Southern defeated Alabama State 7-6 on a walk-off home run. Florida A&M defeated Prairie View 13-7. UNO defeated Pine Bluff 9-3, and Grambling defeated Jackson State 10-1. Yesterday's action, Southern defeated Jackson State 7-5. Prairie View defeated Arkansas Pine Bluff 15-7. UNO defeated Grambling 12-2, and Alabama State defeated Florida A&M 9-6. And then there are 4 games today, and that'll wrap up this event. Southern plays FAMU at 12 o'clock. Prairie View plays Jackson State at 1 p.m. Alabama State plays UNO at 3, and Grambling plays Pine Bluff at 4. So these games will be taking place today in New Orleans. So if you're in the area, I said Barrow Stadium, you can head down there and check that out. So like I said, we're not going to spend a lot of time on this. We're going to kind of touch on baseball here and there during the course of the season. but just wanted to show a little love to that because, like I said, there's a lot of SWAC action taking place in New Orleans. So we just wanted to kind of show a little love to that. And now we're gonna jump into basketball, man. And this is why we here on Sundays is to talk basketball, and SWAC action is heating up. Starting with the women. Bethune-Cookman defeated Alabama A&M by a score of 54-60. Alabama A&M defeated Bethune-Cookman by a score of 68-54, picking up their 9th conference win in this game. DeJarrodJones had 25 points and 3 rebounds. Jill Harris had 12 points. Jada Clowers had a double-double with 10 points and 10 rebounds. Dariana Lewis had 6 points and 10 rebounds. And Kiara Johnson-Graham had 12 points off the bench for the Lady Bulldogs. They had 39 rebounds, 19 fouls, 11 assists, 17 turnovers, 4 blocks, and 8 steals. They shot 40% from the field, 44% from the three-point line, and 84% from the free throw line. 26 points in the paint, 14 points off of turnovers, 11 second chance points, 15 fast break points, and 12 bench points. Game had 2 ties and 2 lead changes. Kamari Harris led Bethune-Cookman with 13 points and 3 rebounds, and Tanya White had 11 points and 4 rebounds. Kayla White was their leading rebounder with 6. The Lady Wildcats had 37 rebounds on the night, 21 fouls, 7 assists, 14 turnovers, 1 block, 5 steals. Shot 30% from the field, 22% from the three-point line, 2 of 9, and 66% from the free throw line. They had 28 points in the paint, 19 points off of turnovers, 10 second chance points, 10 fast break points, and 18 bench points. So a good road victory for Alabama A&M as they start to head into the home stretch of their season. Alabama State also got a big victory on the road in the state of Florida, defeating Florida A&M 73-56. They were led by Ayana Emanuel with 27 points and 7 rebounds. Jada Najee had 11 points and 5 rebounds to round out the double-digit scores for the Lady Hornets. They had 39 rebounds, 17 fouls, 14 assists, 14 turnovers, 1 block, and 13 steals. They shot 43% from the field, 20% from the three-point line, and 72% from the free throw line. 38 points in the paint, 23 points off of turnovers, 13 second chance points, 20 fast break points, and 23 bench points. This game had 3 ties and 8 lead changes. Florida A&M was led by Tia Bradshaw with 21 points and 8 rebounds. Anasia Harris, 17 points to round out the double-digit scores. And their leading rebounder was Stacia Allen with 11 rebounds and 13 minutes. So she did a really good job on the boards. They had 40 rebounds, so they actually out-rebounded Alabama State by 1. 22 fouls, 12 assists, 20 turnovers, 4 blocks, and 6 steals. They shot 33% from the field, 19% from 3, and 66% from the free throw line. 22 points in the paint, 15 points off of turnovers, 16 second chance points, 9 fast break points, and only 4 bench points for the Lady Rattlers. As they dropped another game this season. Texas Southern defeated Valley by a score of 82-77, picking up their 9th win of conference play and continuing their hot streak. They were led by Adriana Avent, who had 32 points and 6 rebounds, 19 points for Ataya Bridges, and 5 rebounds and 8 assists. Big game for her. 13 points for Ariana Taylor, 12 points for Alicia Knight to round out the double-digit scores. They had 44 rebounds, 20 fouls, 15 assists, 20 turnovers, 7 blocks, and 7 steals. 44 points, 44% shooting from the field, 36% from the three-point line, and 78% from the free throw line. Let's see, 34 points in the paint, 23 points off of turnovers, 12 second chance points, 19 fast break points, and 3 bench points. There were 6 ties and 16 lead changes in this game. Valley was led by Michaela Etienne with 19 points and 4 rebounds. Ronnie Williams, 11 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists. Another near triple-double for her. That's her second near triple-double. She had one triple-double earlier in the season. 11 points for Kerrigan Johnson. Zakiya Mahoney had a double-double with 11 points and 11 rebounds. Sarah Moore, 12 rebounds to lead the team. And Malaya Gibson had 10 points to round out the double-digit scores for the Devilettes. They had 52 rebounds, 15 fouls, 14 assists, 17 turnovers, 2 blocks, and 13 steals. They shot 33% from the field, 24% from the line, from the three-point line, and 70% from the free throw line. They had 36 points in the paint, 25 points off of turnovers, 12 second chance points, 31 fast break points, and 20 bench points. Really, really exciting game. 6 ties and 16 lead changes in this game. TSU ultimately was able to pick up the dub on the road, making road teams 3-0 at this point in women's action. Make that 4-0 as Jackson State picked up their 14th conference win. They're on a 14-game winning streak. They beat Alcorn 65-44. Not a typical JSU game, but Jackson State really dominated this game as usual. Misha Williams, 14 points and 7 rebounds. LaMiracle Sims, 8 points, 7 rebounds. Deja Rogan, 8 points. Maya Crump, 6 points, 4 rebounds, 12 points for Gerard Covington. And Deja Woodard had a double-double, 10 points and 11 rebounds. 42 rebounds for Jackson State, 11 fouls, 12 assists, 13 turnovers, 2 blocks, and 8 steals. Alcorn was led in scoring by Zanaya White. She had 9 points to lead the team. LaRae Roscoe had 7 points and 6 rebounds to be the second leading scorer and the leading rebounder. Tanaje Wright had 6 rebounds as well. This was a business as usual game for JSU. They're on a roll, and they win their 14th game in conference play. Southern defeated Grambling by a score of 59-49. Southern breaks a 3-game losing streak, and they pick up their 9th conference win. Alexis Holt led Grambling with 15 points and 4 rebounds, 13 points for Justice Coleman to round out the double-digit scores for Grambling. They had 36 rebounds, 18 fouls, 15 assists, 22 turnovers, 3 blocks, and 2 steals. They shot 38% from the field, 13% from the three-point line, and 63% from the free throw line. 30 points in the paint, 5 points off of turnovers, 8 second chance points, 5 fast break points, and 11 bench points. This game had 4 ties and 6 lead changes. Southern was led in scoring by Genovia Johnson with 22 points and 6 rebounds. She also had 2 steals. Nakia Kinsey had a double-double with 11 points and 10 rebounds to round out the double-digit scores for Southern. Monty McWayne had 7 rebounds for Southern. Southern had 40 total rebounds, 12 fouls, 12 assists, 7 turnovers, 2 blocks, and 13 steals. They shot 34% from the field, 7% from 3, and 63% from the free throw line. Shooting, even with the W, shooting is still a problem for Southern's women's team. They still struggle to make shots, but they were able to play some good defense in the second half and kind of close this game out as they held Grambling to 38% shooting in the second half and 0 for 7 from 3 in the second half to kind of take control of this game. They trailed by 2 at Southern trailed by 2 at half, and defensively they kind of locked Grambling down, outscoring them 35-23 in the second half to win this game. So it was a good defensive effort for Southern to make up for a poor offensive effort as far as shooting goes. 28 points in the paint, 26 points off of turnovers, 5 second chance points, 8 fast break points, and 14 bench points. This game had 4 ties and 6 lead changes. Big victory for Southern over a Grambling team that beat them already once this year. And Pine Bluff defeated Prairie View 66-61 in a really, really good game. Both teams have now won 7 games. So Pine Bluff is still trying to keep pace. Diana Rosenthal led Prairie View with 13 points, and Kennedy Paul had 11 to pace the Lady Panthers. They had 30 rebounds, 19 fouls, 20 assists, 18 turnovers, no blocks, and 5 steals. 41% shooting from the field, 43% from the line, 3-point line, 55% from the free throw line, 18 points in the paint, 15 points off of turnovers, 7 second chance points, 2 fast break points, and 17 bench points. This game had 5 ties and 7 lead changes. Zay Green led Pine Bluff with a double-double, 25 and 10. She was 8 of 14 from the field, 8 for 8 from the free throw line. Also, Joyce Kennerson had 15 points to pace the Lady Lions. Shakina Rachel had 9 rebounds as well. Pine Bluff had 44 rebounds, 13 fouls, 17 assists, 15 turnovers, 1 block, and 12 steals. They shot 39% from the field, 25% from 3, and 65% from the free throw line. 30 points in the paint, 7 points off of turnovers, 12 second chance points, 10 fast break points, and 25 bench points as Pine Bluff picked up a big victory at home, being only one or two teams to win at home on the women's side this Saturday. So road teams did a great job. They went 4-2 on the road this week. So not a lot of good home crowds as far as women's basketball this week. The schedule for Monday, February 21st, Alabama A&M will head to Tallahassee to take on Florida A&M. That's a 5:30 tip-off. That game can be seen on the Florida A&M Facebook page. Bethune-Cookman will host Alabama State, also 5:30. It can be seen on the Cat Eye Network on YouTube. Texas Southern goes to Pine Bluff to take on the Golden Lions. That can be seen on the UAPB athletics website. That's also 5:30 tip. And Prairie View is at Valley, 5:30 tip, which can be seen on the Valley YouTube channel. Taking a look at the standings, Jackson State continues to lead with a 14-0 record. They have a 4-game lead over Alabama State. Jackson State is 14-0, 16-6 overall. Alabama State's 10-4, 11-12 overall. They sit in second place alone. There's a 3-way tie for third place. Alabama A&M is 9-5, 11-13. Southern is 9-5, 11-14, and Texas Southern is 9-5, 9-12 overall. So right now, I believe, I believe Southern or TSU would be in the 3rd seed right now. I had to go through the tiebreakers, but looking at the way that the standings are listed right now, they're listed alphabetical. So Alabama A&M is 3rd, Southern is 4th, TSU is 5th. Prairie View is alone in 6th place at 8-6. Grambling and Pine Bluff are tied for 8th at 7-7, and that will round out your top 8. Bethune-Cookman and FAMU are 4-10. They're 3 games out of the 8th spot. So right now they are kind of on the outside looking in. It will take a lot of work on their end and other teams' ends to get in the tournament. Valley's 2-12. They're out. Alcorn's 1-13. They're out. So right now, if the tournament started today, Jackson State would play Grambling, the 1-8 matchup, the 2-7 matchup, Alabama State and Pine Bluff. The 3-6 matchup would be Alabama A&M and Alabama A&M and Prairie View, and the 4-5 matchup would be Southern and TSU. Now that 3, 4, 5 spots can flip flop depending on tiebreakers, but right now that's how it shakes out. So pretty much, there's still some real separation to be had. The Texas Southern Pine Bluff game is a big game coming up on Monday for standings for both teams. That's pretty much the biggest game of the weekend of Monday as far as standings go in terms of both teams being impacted, because the Alabama schools both play the Florida schools, and those 2 teams are not in the hunt right now. And then Prairie View plays Valley, who is in 11th place. So one real important game as far as both teams go. Now, the top teams who are still playing, they obviously need to win. So that's not saying any of these games are cakewalks. But as far as a game that immediately impacts the standings, that Texas Southern Pine Bluff game is very important, especially for TSU to keep pace and keep themselves in that tie, or even jump ahead of those two teams if Alabama A&M was to falter. So let's jump over to the men's side, and we're going to talk some men's basketball. Again, lot of action taking place 6 games as well that took place on Saturday. Some really exciting basketball, and we're gonna jump directly into it, man. We're gonna start off with Alabama A&M picking up a 62-60 road victory over Bethune-Cookman. Alabama A&M wins their 7th conference game. They trailed by 4 at the half, 32-28, and they outscored Bethune-Cookman by 6 to win by 2. Cameron Tucker led the team with 15 points and 5 rebounds. Dalen Smith, 15 points and 6 rebounds. Jalen Johnson had 10 points and 4 rebounds. E.J. Williams also had 15 points off the bench and 5 rebounds. 7 rebounds by Anjay Cortez to lead the team. The Bulldogs had 37 rebounds, 13 fouls, 5 assists, 12 turnovers, 4 blocks, and 4 steals. 45% shooting from the field for the Bulldogs, 16% from 3, and 62% from the free throw line. They had 32 points in the paint, 7 points off of turnovers, 11 second chance points, 8 fast break points, and 20 bench points, 6 ties and 6 lead changes. Marcus Garrett led Bethune-Cookman with 21 points and 8 rebounds. Kevin Davis, 16 points and 7 rebounds. And Joe French had 14 points to round out the double-digit scores for the Wildcats. They had 40 rebounds, 23 fouls, 6 assists, 9 turnovers, 1 block, and 6 steals. They shot 32% from the field, 42% from 3, and 66% from the line. 20 points in the paint, 17 points off of turnovers, 12 second chance points, 14 fast break points, and 7 bench points. This game had 6 ties and 6 lead changes, so it was a tight affair throughout. A really important game for both teams. Alabama A&M was able to pick up the victory. Florida A&M defeated Alabama State in overtime, 86-83. This game was really tight pretty much throughout. Alabama State trailed by 8 at the half, outscoring FAMU by 8 in the second half to go into overtime. FAMU outscored them by 3 in overtime to pick up a 3-point victory and keep themselves in the hunt for a top 4 seed in the conference. Jordan O'Neal led Alabama State with 15 points and 5 rebounds. Gerald Liddell had a double-double, 14 points and 12 rebounds. E.J. Clark had 14 points. Isaiah Range had 9 points, and Warren Rayner had 24 points off the bench. That's his second 24. He had a 25-point game a few weeks ago against Grambling, and now a 24-point game against FAMU. So he can score the ball off the bench, and he did a great job in this game. 35 rebounds for the Hornets, 19 fouls, 12 assists, 13 turnovers, no blocks, and 12 steals. They shot 41% from the from the free throw line, 53% from 3, and 65% from the free throw line. This game had a ton of techs on Alabama State. They had 4 technical fouls. Jordan O'Neal had 1, E.J. Clark had 1, Gerald Liddell had 1, and they charged 1 to the team. FAMU had no techs, so I'm going to try to go back and watch and see what happened in those situations. Points in the paint, Alabama State 28 points in the paint, 23 points off of turnovers, 19 second chance points, 12 fast break points, and 25 bench points. This game had 13 ties and 8 lead changes. FAMU was led by M.J. Randolph with 30 points, 6 rebounds, and 8 assists. Big game for him. Really just stuffed the stat sheet. He also had 2 steals. Cameron Reeves had 23 points and 5 rebounds. And Bryce Morgaine had 15 points and 6 rebounds. 33 rebounds for the Rattlers, 26 fouls, 21 assists, 20 turnovers, 4 blocks, and 6 steals. They shot 58% from the field, 37% from 3, and 72% from the free throw line. 28 points in the paint, 15 points off of turnovers, 7 second chance points, 15 fast break points, and 10 bench points. As usual, these two teams have played 2 games, and both games were very close. These 2 teams match up really well. Hopefully they can play again in the tournament at some point, because they both match up well against each other, and they go down to the wire both times. Jackson State picked up a 1-point victory Alcorn picked up a 1-point victory over Jackson State, 61-60. Jackson State led this game by 4 at the half, 34-30, and Alcorn outscored them by 5 in the second half to win by 1. also keeping themselves in the mix for the top spot right now. Darius Hicks was JSU's only double-digit scorer. He had 26 points. Didn't really get much from anybody else on the night. Dylan Turner had 6 rebounds for the team, 22 rebounds for Jackson State, 10 fouls, 11 assists, 10 turnovers, 3 blocks, and 3 steals. They shot 46% from the field, 41% from 3, and 40% from the free throw line. That box score is incorrect. Jackson State scored 60 points, but this box score is showing them with 43. So I don't know who scored what, but that scoring total is not correct. 32 points in the paint, 12 points off of turnovers, 5 second chance points, 4 fast break points, and 14 bench points. This game, Jackson State shot 46% from the field, 41% from the free throw line, and 40% from the free throw line. As far as this shows, it shows them 2 of 5 from the line. Don't know if that's correct because none of these box scores, as far as the individual numbers, are correct. This shows Alcorn with 32 points in the game, so that's not correct. Not gonna really go over that now that I see that it is the way it is. But Alcorn picked up a 1-point victory in this game and kept themselves in pace for honestly for the top spot because there's a log jam now. Texas Southern beat Valley 79-59 to also pick up a big victory and keep themselves in the hunt. They were led by Justin Hopkins with 14 points, 2 rebounds. Jordan Carl Nicholas, 13 points, 5 rebounds. AJ Lawson, 10 points and 5 rebounds. Yashuza Rosses led the team with 10 rebounds. Texas Southern had 42 rebounds on the night, 16 fouls, 8 assists, 16 turnovers, 6 blocks, and 5 steals. 51% shooting from the field, 29% from 3, and 92% from the free throw line. 46 points in the paint, 13 points off of turnovers, 20 second chance points, 10 fast break points, and 44 bench points. This game had 1 tie and 3 lead changes. Valley actually led by 4 at the half. TSU had a huge second half. Outscoring them 49-25 to win this game by 20 points. Valley was led by Caleb Hunter and Terry Collins. Each had 14 points. Collins had 4 rebounds as well. Gary Grant led the team with 6 rebounds. He also had 11 points to round out the double-digit scores. They had 30 rebounds, 16 fouls, 9 assists, 12 turnovers, 2 blocks, and 10 steals. They shot 36% from the field, 21% from the three-point line, and 73% from the free throw line. 22 points in the paint, 18 points off of turnovers, 8 second chance points, 16 fast break points, and 13 bench points for Valley as they drop another game and fall deeper in the standings. Next game is Grambling defeated Southern. Grambling picked up the sweep over Southern. The Grambling is under Coach Jackson. Grambling is 9-2 against Southern. That's really a reversal of fortunes. In Southern Grambling basketball, Grambling matches up really well with Southern. Southern cannot close out games against Grambling, and Grambling picked up a great game, a great win in the last seconds in a really heated atmosphere at Southern. Tremichael Moulton hit a 3-pointer with only seconds left to give Grambling the lead, and then they would hit some free throws at the end to salt this game away. Moulton led Grambling with 14 points, 2 of 4 from 3, including that 1 big 3. Southern led by 8 points at the half. Grambling outscored them by 12 in the second half to pick up this victory. Shandarius Coward had 10 points and 10 rebounds, so a double-double for him. And Malik Lehman had 10 points as well for Grambling to round out their double-digit scores. They had 41 rebounds, 19 fouls, 5 assists, and 17 turnovers, 3 blocks, and 5 steals. They shot 34% from the field, 37% from 3, and 81% from the free throw line. 24 points in the paint, 7 points off of turnovers, 18 second chance points, 9 fast break points, and 24 bench points. This game had 1 tie and 1 lead change. So Southern basically controlled this game from the start. The lead did not change until the last seconds when Grambling hit that big shot at the end. Tyrone Lyons led Southern with 12 points. Jaden Sadler, 10 points, 7 rebounds. 11 points for Breon Whitley to round out the double-digit scores for Southern. Southern had 40 rebounds, 18 fouls, 13 assists, 12 turnovers, 5 blocks, and 11 steals. They shot 28% from the field, 24% from 3, and 72% from the free throw line. That's very poor shooting. Southern doesn't typically shoot that bad. Grambling played pretty good defense. Shoot 28% at home is definitely not a recipe for success. So they just shot really poorly in this game. 18 points in the paint, 13 points off of turnovers, 13 second chance points, 11 fast break points, and 29 bench points. Again, big victory for Grambling. They kept themselves in the hunt. A loss would have really did them some damage in the standings. Prairie View stays hot. They picked up another victory. This time they defeated Pine Bluff 92-84. Jeremiah Gambrell, 31 points, including 5 of 10 from three-point line, 4 assists for him. Dwayne Cox, 25 points and 4 rebounds. He was 7 of 9 from the field, 2 of 2 from 3, and 9 of 11 from the free throw line. Real efficient night for him. And Jawan Daniels had 16 points and 7 rebounds. Those 7 rebounds were a team high. He led the Panthers with that. 33 rebounds for the Panthers as a whole, 26 fouls, 16 assists, 18 turnovers, 2 blocks, and 7 steals. Prairie View shot 54% from the field, 60% from 3, and 75% from the free throw line. They had 34 points in the paint, 21 points off of turnovers, 11 points second chance, 9 fast break points, and 9 bench points. This game had 7 ties and 13 lead changes. Pine Bluff was led by Sean Williams with 26 points and 4 rebounds. Brandon Brown had a double-double, 23 points and 10 rebounds. DeQuan Morris, 12 points. And Kashawn Stokes had 11 points. 30 rebounds for the Golden Lions, 27 fouls, 14 assists, 13 turnovers, 4 blocks, and 11 steals. They shot 42% from the field, 44% from 3, and 71% from the line. 20 points in the paint, 15 points off of turnovers, 14 second chance points, 5 fast break points, and 12 bench points as Prairie View picked up a big victory on the road and keeping themselves in the mix for a tournament spot. The games taking place on Monday. Alabama A&M is at FAMU. The game will start roughly 8 o'clock on the FAMU Facebook page. Bethune-Cookman hosts Alabama State. Again, roughly 8 o'clock start. On the Cat Eye Network on YouTube. Texas Southern is at Pine Bluff. Again, roughly 8 o'clock on the UAPB Sports website. And the same thing, roughly 8 o'clock, Prairie View will host Valley. Valley will host Prairie View on the Valley YouTube channel. So those are the games on Monday, only 4 games on Monday. We'll be back to a full 6-game slate on next Saturday, and then a 4-game slate on Monday. As we round out the schedule. So now we're going to take a look at the standings for the men's side as things continue to stay tight. Now there's a 3-way tie for first place. Coming into the games yesterday, Southern was alone in first place. They lost. Texas Southern won. Alcorn won. Those 3 teams are now tied for first place. Southern is 10-4, 15-11. Texas Southern is 10-4, 12-11. Alcorn is 10-4, 11-15. So TSU has a chance to take sole possession of first place by half a game if they can beat Pine Bluff on Monday. So that's a very important game standings-wise for them. FAMU is in 4th place, tied with Grambling at 9-5. Grambling is 11-15 overall. FAMU is 11-14. FAMU did beat Grambling in their first matchup. Those 2 teams will face off next Saturday, so that's a very important game. Grambling does not play on Monday, so FAMU has a chance to take a half a game lead over Grambling if they can defeat Alabama A&M, who is tied with Prairie View at 7-7. So that leaves let's see, Grambling is 5th, Prairie View and Alabama A&M are 6-7. Jackson State right now will be 8th. They're 6-8. They have a 1-game lead over Bethune-Cookman and Alabama State, who are both 5-9. Pine Bluff is 4-10. They're still kind of in the mix. They are in danger of really being out. I think if they lose on Monday to TSU, they can probably be really much marked as being out. Valley is 2-12. They're pretty much out. So right now you have 10 teams battling it out. Pine Bluff and Bethune-Cookman. Alabama State and Bethune-Cookman are right there behind Jackson State. They're 1 game out of that 8th spot. So if the tournament started today, the way the standings look right now, Southern would be number 1. They would play JSU. Prairie View would be number 2, playing Texas Southern, and Alcorn would play Alabama A&M. Although I think with tiebreakers, Alcorn would probably end up number 1 right now because they beat Southern and TSU. Southern beat TSU, and TSU didn't beat either of those teams. So if you went by tiebreakers, Alcorn would be the number 1 seed. They would play Jackson State. Southern would be the 2 seed. They would play Prairie View, and Texas Southern would be the 3 seed right now, and they would play Alabama A&M. FAMU and Grambling would be the 4-5 matchup. So you see how this log jam is, man. There's a lot of basketball left to take place, and there's going to be a lot of movement in the standings. So Texas Southern has an opportunity to take sole possession of first place by half a game on Monday if they beat Pine Bluff. FAMU has an opportunity to take fourth place by themselves if they can beat Alabama A&M. Alabama A&M and Prairie View both have opportunities to kind of move up or keep pace if either one of those teams win. If Prairie View beats Valley or Alabama A&M beats FAMU, they keep themselves in a good spot. And Bethune-Cookman and Alabama State are kind of playing, I don't want to say an elimination game, but the loser of that game is going to be in worse shape in chances of making that 8th spot. So there's a lot to be determined. And I said this since the start of the season. Do not be surprised if the SWAC champ has 5 losses. Everybody has at least 4 now. I already said 4 to 5 losses is very possible for your SWAC champ. And with a lot of tough games left for everybody, somebody can win this conference with 5 losses. I don't know if that's ever happened before. This league is very, very even. I keep saying, week in and week out, nobody's head and shoulders above anybody. Week to week, a different team is considered the best team in the league. There's nobody who's just head and shoulders above everybody. Everybody has their flaws, and it's showing at this point in the schedule. So unless somebody takes command of something and closes this out, going 4-0 down the stretch or whatever, then you're gonna see some teams with some high losses finishing high in the standings. So I'm very eager to sit back and see how these games take place. A lot of big matchups in the next 2 weeks plus Monday. So we'll be here to cover all of it. Wednesday, we'll recap the Monday games, and we'll talk a little football, whatever comes up during the week. We'll talk about that on Wednesday. Thursday, SWAC Smoke live as usual, 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. And Sunday, we'll recap the Saturday games and do our deep dive into the SWAC standings. So we'll be back with some more SWAC talk. As usual, this is the show that covers the SWAC inside and out. I'm your tour guide, C. Wells. I'm stop this bus, man. Been a long day yesterday. I'm tired. So hope you guys have a good Sunday, and we'll catch y'all on the rebound. Peace.